Fellas, it's great to be here. This year, let's start off with the Angus. You know, I've been working with you for many years. I've got to say, it's one of the best lineup of Angus bulls I've seen in the country this year, so well done.
Yeah, no, thanks Ben. It's built up pretty quickly. We've been doing a lot of ET work, and probably got to give a lot of praise to Ross Thompson for giving us the opportunity to get into hook into a lot of his good matrons and embryos and things we've been buying off him, and also donor cows. Yeah, and I'm really happy with the phenotype and everything that's going on.
Just tell me a bit about some of the Sidelines, Simon.
This year, Ben, there's a few different Sidelines, I suppose. We've used Canamble Hector, Millamurra Kingdom. Also a bit of Clooney. We've got some pretty handy Clooney bulls this year. We actually used Pathfinder Genesis, and he has worked really well on those Tomo cows. You know, we selectively bred him to really deep-bodied cows that maybe didn't have the number set, but had the phenotype and the structure. And I mean, he's a single hit bull in regards to fixing up numbers, and he's done a really good job, and we're actually quite happy with them. We move into the younger bulls. There's an aviator in there that's a really good type. We've used a bit of base and pay weight that's also put some real good type and muscle into the cattle. There's bulls there for everyone of a fair few different lines, and yeah, we're quite happy with them.
And also, fellas, you've got some of the first lock-up calves in Australia, and from what I've seen, I really like them.
Yeah, no, they're looking really good. They're putting a bit of stretch into them, as well as keeping that bit of depth and softness, and we're going to be using a fair bit more of them in the next 12 months.
That's great. Well, let's move on to the Limos. As always, I mean, you're famous for the way you breed your Limos. I've got to say, an incredible lineup, especially the apricots. Not to take away from the blacks, but the lineup of apricot bulls is incredibly strong, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Ben, for sure. No, I think it's probably, yeah, the top 15, 20 apricot bulls are as good as bulls as we've bred, and that's probably coming back from the K6 bull King, who made 29,000 3 or 4 years ago in our sale, sold to King Creek up in New South Wales. Just breeding just like himself, and just thick and heaps of muscle and with softness and heap of depth with him. So no, he's looking very good.
And fellas, look, I think it's really important that people at least get to have a look at your cattle. The cattle will be down at Keith, and you'll have the open day as well as the sale, won't you?
That's right, Ben, yes. Yeah. No, all the bulls will be on display down at Keith early Feb.
Well, fellas, it's been great spending a couple of days with you, and as always, best of luck for the sale. I'm pretty confident it's going to be an absolute ripper for you.
Yeah,
Cheers,
thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank
no
you.
worries.